Hey Wilder folks, Alicia here. We are focused on our foot and lower leg here. So I'm going to have a slant board that Kyle made for me, but you can also put a 2x4 up against the end of a rig, or you can use a couple textbooks stacked up against a wall to make a slanted surface. Ideally, on this surface, you'll feel a little bit of stretch through the back of your calf when you're standing flat on it. So take a second to get that. And we're also going to need a ball. This could be a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, anything like that. Gather those things and then let's get mobilizing. So we are gonna start with this ball just behind the ball of your foot. So if this is the ball of my foot, I'm gonna put the ball right there against the ground. And then what I'm gonna do is just go sideways. So I'm rotating through the lower leg to get the ball into the muscles just behind the ball of the foot and out to the side. And after I do a couple rotations, I'm going to just inch my heel closer to the ball and hit a different portion. I am going to be out of frame except for my feet here. That's the important part. Good. As we get closer, our heel will come off the ground. If you find a spot that's particularly sticky, spend an extra second there. And we are just going to roll through until we come into just in front of the heel. Now what we get to do on that same foot is start in the same starting location just behind the ball, and we're gonna roll all the way until we're just in front of the heel. So that's gonna be on the ground. It's gonna look like this, rolling forward and backwards. Every time you roll, I want you to be a little bit closer to the outside of your foot. And again, if you hit a spot that shows you it needs some love, give it some love. I just got a foot crack, that's wicked. Awesome. And we're gonna hit our second side now. So starting with that ball just behind the ball of your foot, hinging, or rotating, I guess rather, on the heel to get some, sweet action in those arches. Remember, as I come forward, I'm gonna get to a certain point where my heel is off the ground. And if there's a spot that needs a little more love, I'm gonna hang out there. Awesome. As soon as I get to right in front of the heel, now I'm gonna go back and forth this way. Look at that, I got the crack in the same spot on the second foot. Every time I roll, getting closer to that outside side. Awesome. Whether our feet are in a stiff hiking boot or in a ski boot, they still move within that boot, but our flexion, or rather, our flexion both ways is significantly decreased. So let's work on remedying that and making ourselves happier in our ski boots or our hiking boots. We are going to spread our feet as wide as we can. Then my hands or my feet wide as I can with those. And now what I want you to do is press flat through the big toe. So we're not scrunching, we're pressing flat through the big toe. From there, I want you to try and rotate the lower leg out as far as you can. You're gonna feel your glutes working here to help this happen. Your knees are also gonna go out. So let's come back to neutral. And again, driving, imagining I'm corkscrewing my foot into the ground. Big toe is still actively pressing into the ground. Toes are staying wide and pressed. This may feel really weird if you haven't done it before. But now I'm gonna start getting us to go both directions. So that big foot is constantly pressing, and now our lower leg is rotating as far out as we can, and then as far in as we can, making sure there's no knee pain through these movements. But feeling those arches raise up as my knees go out, and those arches come down slightly as my knees go in. And last time, awesome. We're gonna bring it on over to our stretching device, whether that is something like this, or whether that is a stack of books against the wall, anything that gives you support to stretch here. I wanna spread my toes wide, and then I'm gonna try and come up with a straight knee. We wanna be in a spot that stretches for us. I might actually, for me, maybe I should have gone to the taller one, but that's okay. So we're just going to try and tighten the core here. Make sure you're not sticking out your butt or sticking out your chest. Also pay attention to how your feet are oriented. Oftentimes I'll see people go a little wider through the front of the foot than the back of the foot, so they're standing with their toes out, just to reduce the overall range or ankle range of motion that's required. So make sure you're a straight line on the inside of the foot. And we're gonna come on off with one foot, leave the other foot on the stretcher or on that raised surface. And I want you to try and drive your knee forward pretty significantly here. We should feel a stretch through the calf again, but it's going to be in a different place than it was before. We're stretching a new and different muscle. Now in this position, I want you to pay attention to where your knee is relative to your foot. It should be somewhere over that tripod. Oftentimes I'll see people go in to try and get more range of motion. What I want you to do is just make sure you're not going around a stretch. Really search for a stretch back here. If you feel a stretch back here, we are winning. All right, for 5 seconds, we're gonna push through this foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now relax, feel that stretch change. You can do whatever you want with this back foot. I'm getting a little bonus stretch through the bottom of the foot by having my toes planted and heel up here. And let's switch to our second side. All right, finding that same location, bending the knee. Oh, I feel tighter on this side compared to the first. Paying attention to where my knee is relative to my foot, making sure it's not diving in or going outside. At the end of the day, we want to feel a stretch here. Now, if you do not feel any kind of stretch, you could try a lower angle. So try and make this smaller, and see if that allows you to get into a stretch with a bent knee. For sometimes we can get a little bit of blocking happening here if we're quite stiff and we've been in ski boots a lot. So you could go a band around here to pull that lower leg back. But as long as I'm feeling a stretch through here, I'm winning. For 5 seconds, let's push into those feet. Remember, we're not clawing the feet, we're pressing straight down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Shake it out. I hope you have a wilder day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.